Marriage can be really hard. I know there's all these young women on TikTok who've been married for couple of years, constantly saying that marriage is so easy if you're doing it right, but I'd like to caution them to give it some time. Life will throw curveballs into both of your lives, and when the proverbial ish hits the fan, yeah, it's hard. I'm speaking from experience here. And there are times that even when you love your husband and are happy that this man is your partner, he does things that make living with him in that moment really hard. Even stupid little things like breathing too loud or chewing weird or asking where the ketchup is in the fridge when literally you open the door and it's right in front of you. He's not a bad guy. He's even a good guy. But what he is driving you absolutely up the wall. But before you decide he's the problem, maybe, just maybe, it's time for a little radical acceptance. Stay with me because I know that might sound a little woo-woo, but it might also actually save your sanity and your marriage. First of all, what is radical acceptance? It's the topic of YourTango founder and CEO Andrea Miller's book, Radical Acceptance: The Secret to Happy, Lasting Love. And it goes a little something like this. Radical acceptance means you love your partner not just for all the good stuff, but for all the stuff. You learn to accept the quirks, the flaws, the habits you don't like without constantly trying to change him. You identify your partner's unlovable traits because we all have them, and you love your partner anyway. Now, before you say, wait a minute, it's not about accepting red flags or abuse or letting him walk all over you. It's none of that. You're just choosing to love the whole package, even the messy, mildly irritating parts. So here are 9 ways to radically accept your husband, even when he's on your last nerve. 1. Breathe deep and stop. Before you snap about the dishes or the shoes in the hallway, pause. Take a beat. Take a breath. Ask yourself, am I actually mad at him? Or just exhausted and overstimulated? Why do you really want to yell? Is it because you had a bad day at work and you can't take doing another thing? Or are you truly bothered by the dishes? A beat to take a deep breath allows you to wait to react, and it can save an unnecessary fight from breaking out in the living room. Learning to stop and take a breath is a crucial life skill, and it's applicable to way more in life than just our marriages. Think all of our relationships, our work, our school, all the things. 2. Count to 10. Yes, count to 10 like we teach toddlers, but it works for adults too. Counting to 10 before making a comment can help you. That little buffer can stop an eye roll from turning into a full-blown fight over something like his fantasy football league. So stop, breathe, count to 10, and then speak. Act. Don't react. 3. Reflect on it. Why does his behavior really bother you? Think about it. Noodle on it a bit. Does his behavior remind you of your dad or maybe an old boyfriend? Are you worried about what others think and you want to micromanage his behavior so people don't think poorly about you? Are you maybe even just feeling left out of his life? Also, consider why he might be acting a certain way. Did you say something that hurt his feelings? Did his boss give him a hard time at work? Is he nervous about something? Listen, again, I'm not saying you have to praise him if he's being a jerk, but reflect on what his behavior is triggering in you, and maybe what triggered his behavior as well. Radical acceptance starts with self-awareness. 4. Think like an outsider. If a stranger saw a moment between you and your husband, would they think your husband was a monster of some kind or maybe just a guy having a rough day? Zoom out. 30,000 foot view here, people. Pretend you're not even involved in the interaction. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in our feelings that we forget to see the bigger picture, and seeing the bigger picture is part of radical acceptance. 5. Be introspective. Now it's time to ask yourself, what's actually going on with me? What is causing me to be so disturbed or upset by my husband? Am I feeling insecure, unheard, maybe resentful? It's vulnerable and it's uncomfortable, but be honest with yourself and what's bothering you. Maybe he went out with friends and came home later than he said he would. Sure, yes, he could have called, but also, is your anger stemming from a former partner that would maybe stay out late because he was cheating and making excuses for it? Or has it been a while since you've been out with your friends? You're a little jealous. You wish you could go out and stay out late without worry. That's valid. You can't accept someone else if you haven't accepted what's going on inside you first. You need to recognize those things that bother you and your insecurities. And yeah, you can also be honest with him and tell him how you feel. It's possible he has no idea. 6. Stop pointing the finger. Sure, blaming him for something feels satisfying in the moment. We all love being absolved. It feels right. But constant finger pointing creates distance, and it isn't good for our relationships. Of course there are exceptions, like if there's any kind of abuse or cheating, but for those little daily things, pointing fingers elsewhere builds up resentment. And when we do it with a righteousness that doesn't often belong there. Stop being in a rush to be high and mighty and always right in your relationship. Marriage isn't a courtroom, and you're not trying to win a case. You're trying to stay connected to this person that you married, that you love. 7. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Before deciding that he's intentionally doing whatever he's doing because he's a jerk or a bad person or just rude, or because he doesn't love you even, try first considering situational factors for his behaviors. This goes back to some of those earlier points I mentioned about taking time to think rather than just immediately reacting. And this is a good thing. Maybe he's late because he got caught in traffic, not because he wanted you to miss your appointment. Maybe he didn't do the dishes because he got caught up helping a child with homework. There might be some valid reason for his behavior. And considering this before jumping to conclusions will help you keep an even tone and a clear mind when discussing pain points in the relationship. And it will help you accept him and yourself more fully. 8. Let go of control. This one is hard, but it's also really important. Are you trying to get him to change his behavior because you want him to behave exactly as you see fit? And if so, why? Are you upset because he did something wrong or because he did it his way instead of yours? Control and power dynamics come up a lot in marriages. You don't have to control every little thing, even if you know you definitely do it better. It's okay to cede some control and let him do things his way. 9. Repeat a mantra. When he is driving you absolutely nuts, try a mantra. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of silly, but try it. It can be something simple like, I accept him. I love him. I don't have to control him. Or maybe if you're feeling a little spicy, he's not perfect, neither am I. And we're doing our best. And I'm not going to murder him today. Repeating a mantra is a reminder to accept him as he is and love him. And if you can't, divorce is always an option. It's also a reminder, again, to think before you react. Ask yourself why you're getting so upset and to give him the benefit of the doubt. Radical acceptance doesn't mean staying silent or swallowing your feelings. It just means loving your partner fully, even when he's annoying, imperfect, and totally undeniably human. And in a healthy, strong relationship, radical acceptance goes both ways, and you should expect that he will do the same for you when you're less than perfect. So the next time he leaves half of the kitchen cabinets open again, take a breath, count to 10, and act intentionally instead of simply reacting. Thanks for watching YourTango. If this hit home, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.